Alliance for Community Action presents a radio drama entitled Let's Participate. So listen and participate.
You are welcome, Madaliso. Please come in and feel free.
Madaliso, you are here. You are welcome. Let me help you with the bags. You're also welcome, my husband.
Thank you so much, Auntie. It's good to see you after a very long time.
How have you been, my child? And how is Zambia and everyone else in the village?
I'm fine. And Ambiati and Angel was sending her regards. Otherwise, everyone else is just fine. Not knowing how we are doing here.
Yeah, we are fine.
Amakempaso, can you kindly give us the food before it gets cold, huh? Because I'm very hungry.
My husband, your food is ready. Let me just bring it on the table.
And talking about Mpaso, how is he doing? Haven't seen him. Is he around?
Oh, yes, he is. Apparently, he's busy with his friends. They are pushing for some projects. They want to get some support from the government.
Really? What kind of support do they want to receive from the government?
I hear that they are applying for some youth empowerment fund for their project because they have made a cooperative and they want to be given a grant.
Youth empowerment fund for their project? What is that?
You don't know what youth empowerment programs are?
No, this is my first time hearing about this.
What do you mean it's your first time hearing about this? Don't people access this kind of opportunities back in the village?
Not at all, Auntie. And if they are there, then there must be few. Because if such kinds of programs existed, people like me wouldn't have to move all the way from typical eastern part of this country just to come here to look for employment.
So what kind of things or rather opportunities do young people get after they finish their secondary education from the government in rural areas?
To be honest with you both, I feel the government has been neglecting us people who live in the rural areas. It's like we're not Zambian citizens and that it is not fair. They don't really consider us when it comes to such programs.
Yeah, that's sad to hear. Because in my thinking, I thought maybe you people in rural areas also have access to these opportunities.
No, Auntie, that's not the case.
Yeah.
You know what? I personally feel government should see to it that when giving out these empowerments, there should be fair distribution of these funds among all the 10 provinces of Zambia.
Not only that, my husband, they should also be distributing them equally and equitably.
And talking about equality, Auntie, they need to make sure that they give funds to the people who are deserving. Because I believe most young people in rural areas have a lot of farming project ideas, but they are limited due to lack of funds.
Besides, most young people in rural areas are stronger than the ones here in Lusaka. If anything, they should be allocating more money to them.
Yes, Uncle. And I'm sure that if I was to share this information with the rest of the peers back in the village, they can be very surprised because such kinds of opportunities don't even exist.
And that is the more reason why young people like you have to stand up and speak for yourselves so that your voices can be heard. I'm sure things can change.
With time, yes, maybe with time, things can change. Because it has been too much and it pains me a lot every time I come to think of it.
Madaliso, pray for the food. I'm starving. I like eating my food when it's hot.
Yes, that's true. I also like warm food. Now, let us pray.
Government should see to it that there is fair distribution of empowerment funds and projects amongst all the 10 provinces. People in the rural areas should claim for empowerment. It is their right.
How was the food? Did you enjoy it? Because you've been very quiet. I almost thought that there was no one inside the house.
It was nice. You even know how I like fish, huh? And the way you prepared it, I always enjoy it. Every time it is my favorite.
My husband.
Yes, I wondered, it was so delicious that for a moment I thought this was my first time eating fish. You know, it's like you people from Lusaka here eat some sort of wooden fish or something.
Oh, my daddy, so you're so funny. Ukanipoleka vingazi vako.
Auntie.
You Mpaso, this is when you are arriving. Sindiwe mulimi, why?
I'm not even hungry that day. Good afternoon. Madaliso, how are you? How are you doing? It's good to see you after a very long period of time.
It is good to see you too, Bululu. See it.
So tell me, Madaliso, what has changed back in the village? Because it has been so long ever since I came to the village. It's like 9 years now, huh?
Yes, tell us, Madaliso. I quite want to know because even me, I would like to know so that I don't get lost the next time I come to visit Ambuya Tinenenji.
To tell you people the truth, nothing much has really changed about the village because the roads are still bad. We still have one primary school and one secondary school. Nothing more, nothing less. This is what I was telling you in the previous conversation, that there is not much that has been done when it comes to developmental projects. In most of the rural areas, the government tends to neglect us when it comes to projects.
So what you were saying about the government not being inclusive when they are implementing the projects and the empowerment programs was this serious, Kans?
Yes, Uncle, it is very serious. We haven't been eating much of the national cake because from what I saw today when we were coming, you can't compare to the development in cities and the rural areas. Rural areas are far left behind.
Yeah.
Now this is bad.
Very bad.
I think we should reinforce the need for citizens to talk about this inequality and how all Zambians equally own government money. This money should be used to take care of the poor in our country, more especially those in rural areas, before those in well-to-do areas.
So, and also the importance of everyone to speak about this because we originally come from these rural areas and we need to make sure that the government takes good care of these places.
That's very true. Ndafia, in order for our country to be fully developed, there is need for the government to take developmental projects in all the 10 provinces of this country.
Yes, a lot of young people need to stand up and speak against this inequality.
Yes, Bululu, you are actually right.
Yes.
I also wanted to find out. Mpaso, is it fine if you can just show me around because I have been sitting for a very long time in a bus and I want to stretch just a bit?
No problem. We can go together so that I can show some of the offices we have here in Lusaka where you can access some opportunities as well how you can go about them.
Okay.
Yes,
that sounds perfect.
Yes,
Let me
go.
just remove the shoes. So
Show him.
Let's Participate was brought to you by the Alliance for Community Action. In this episode, Uncle Japheth was Richard Chombo. Aunt Jenny was Joyce Nakamba. Madaliso was Mwira Nkonde. Mpaso was Ronald Mwape. It was directed by Taonga Temboliwewe.